here, because our opponent's 6k, we can hit 10k, 16k, and 21k to actually effectively bully them and hit over those defensives just in case they see them and they don't. So hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. It has been a while. I had some technical difficulties, but I can't wait to jump straight into it. For today's video, we're going to be doing a deck profile for one of the most recent clan events. We had Murakumo. Now if you're interested in the Yasui build, I have a video on it a few months ago from JP. Of course, we tweaked it on the streams and all, so go check those out as well if you want to see a more updated list. I was playing yesterday's qualifiers, qualifier 2, and we did see a Murakumo in action playing Void Gelga and Yasui, and I was really excited to see the competitive side of things give Murakumo a go. Now, one of the builds that I wanted to try but I never got the chance to on JP was Magatsu. Magatsu is the ride chain for Murakumo. It's kind of like the identity of it, since this was the main build for quite a while now, and we just got more support for it. So I'm really excited to showcase this and see how this deck plays out. Now, what have we changed from this list? We have quite a few of the staples, of course, but I need to change something up. We have quite a few staples, but it is quite a little bit different from before. And the reason why is because we have strides now, right? So we're going to play the usual, the grade 0, which when you ride the grade 1, check top 7 for the grade 2 or 3. If you miss, then if you miss the grade 1, then you get to call this out. The grade 1, when you ride the grade 2, gets to call 2 copies of the grade 2 and give it boost at the end of the turn. Remove 1 and add 1 to your hand. The grade 2 does the same thing when you ride the grade 3. Call 2 copies of the grade 3 out of thin air. 1 bounces out of game and 1 goes back to your hand. And the grade 3 helps you copy itself. And also Persona Blast for a superior call multi-attack during your battle phase. Now, this got buffed recently. Before it used to cost Counter Blast, now it does not, so that's really nice. But what do we have now? We have the new countercharging PGs. These help you out with the countercharge department. We have the new Stride Fodders, which gives us a little bit of oomph. If we miss the ride chain, at least we have Yasui that we know is very consistent and very helpful. So that's nice. And we play 2 of the Sukrok. Now Sukrok we didn't used to play because, well, frankly, it's a pretty bad card. I've been testing it at 1 as well, as you can see just now. But 2 is pretty good. You can play it as 1 and give it a try. The reason why we play this is because early game aggression is the name of the game. And being able to reposition this unit when you commit it, it's very nice. So on turn 1, if we're going second, I would commit this into like the back row and then call another grade 1 maybe, hit 14k to hit over those 7+5s maybe. And then turn 2, I can reposition this to another back row rear circle, so then we have 2 grade 1 boosters, assuming our opponent doesn't attack into the other grade 1 front row. So if you don't get it, it's fine. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it lets you commit earlier onto the game, but you can reposition it so it's not an awkward column where it's 2 grade 1s. Next, we play 4 of the 12k. The 12k is still really solid, especially since your main ride targets are going to be the grade 2 and the grade 3. So this is probably going to be active. There are matchups in the metagame like Aggro Force that really don't like big intercepts. So Royale Nova, quite premium. We play 1 of the countercharger because countercharging is still nice, but you can play the 10ks if you want. You can play the new GB1 12k meters. Those are solid as well. We play 4 of the Rune Star, and Rune Star is really important because Rune Star helps you multi-attack. It is one of the only units of its archetype where, I'm calling this an archetype where it's like GB1, Rearguard Circle, when it attacks a Vanguard, if it's boosted, Counter Blast 1. We need a bracket term for this, but basically this is interesting because usually it won't let you superior call a copy of itself or some clause like that, so it doesn't enable like infinite multi-attacks. But Rune Star can actually copy itself. And even though it does need a booster to actually, use its skill again, we do have a really nice stride that we love in the Murakumo clan that actually lets us use our Rune Star as an 11k beater from the back row as well. So it is very, very nice to have. And at the end of the turn, it bounces to your hand. While this isn't the best later into the game because it does mean you are vulnerable, assuming you don't finish your opponent off well, sometimes you just gotta go and do what it takes to finish the job. And if it's early game, well, you bounce it safely to your hand, and you can use Rune Star again next turn. So I really like this card. I think it's great, and definitely worth playing for. We also play Legion, so we can always put back dead Rune Stars back to the deck, so we can keep using Rune Star. We play 4 of the Magatsu, as we mentioned. We play 1 of the Yasui, as we mentioned, helps you dupe stuff. So just in case you missed the Magatsu Ride Chain, you still have a little bit of consistent multi-attacking with Yasui. And we play 4 of the Magatsu Typhoon. This is the new Legion. Legion's with the old grade 3. When you Legion, all of your Magatsu rearguards get +5, so definitely play down the Magatsus you intend to play down before Legioning. They also get boost, so that's really nice. Once per turn, you can discard a card to call a card with the same name as your Vanguard from your deck, and then put that unit to the bottom of the deck at the end of the turn. So when this is the only unit on your Vanguard circle, you can still call out Magatsu Typhoon, and that's still valid because it's still an 11k beater, so it can attack Vanguard, and then you can Persona Blast with Magatsu Storm, and then replace it with an active booster to actually hit over that 11k number again. So it is still fine for sure. And for the Yukihime, for the grade 4 lineup, we have 1 of the Harmonics, because why not? We play 2 of the Kagamijishi. This is a great unit, especially when you have Yasui. It helps you enable multi-attacks. Even if you don't have skills to duplicate or whatever, just manually placing down a rearguard with the same name will still proc Kagamijishi. So that's something to know. As we mentioned, Rune Star can help you proc out the Kagamijishi, because Rune Star calls a copy of Rune Star. So that Rune Star could be in the back row. 9 plus 2 is 11. Hits 11k numbers. Very solid. Okay? Very nice. We play 1 of the train. I'm not a big fan of the train. I hope you follow this train of thought, because you need to hit, you need to choose 1 of the rearguards, you need to copy, and then they bounce to the bottom of the deck. It's too much setup. You need to on hit. Why are you using this when you have other units that kind of does the job easier? We played 2 of the Homer Rider, just because it's a restanding Vanguard. It's really rare you're going to be able to proc this when you're using Magatsu, but I guess it's possible because you duplicate a ton of Magatsu Storms sometimes, and you can pop those Magatsu Storms back to the deck for a restand play. Really situational, really rare, but it's nice to have here. And lastly, 2 of the Rain Element Madu. Now, Madu is just such an amazing card. You know, whoever insults Madu, shame on you. You know, it's our Lord and Savior, Cray Elemental. If you have a hard card with the original power of 10k or less, you can add a grade 3 from a drop zone. Now let me explain for the last time why Madu is amazing, right? First of all, everyone should have Madu. It's basically free if you roll Fighter's Collection, right? Secondly, units like Magatsu Storm, base 10k, you discard anything, you ride a Magatsu, you stride Madu, you add maybe a Magatsu Storm to your hand. You can stride next turn. You can use the Persona next turn. It's just great, right? If you're in Legion, you can also use Madu because it searches both Vanguards to see whoever fulfills the condition, and then, if it's possible, procs its skill. So any Legion deck, most likely, will be able to use Madu, which is very nice. And lastly, if you are a Yasui build deck, right? Like yesterday's Winter Circuit, like round 3 or round 4 or whatever, and you miss, right? You ride a Magatsu Storm, or you ride Void Gelga instead of Yasui, and you're like, Yasui's in the drop zone, what do we do? Well, we stride Madu. We pick up the Yasui, and we transit, and we go back to the Yasui, and we fix the game up, right? So, don't sleep on Madu, please. You know, especially if you play like Void Gelga and a Yasui build. I know I'm going off tangent, but please, you know, play Madu. Like that list I saw yesterday, they were playing Shiryuki when they had no Shiryukis in deck. Like, come on, if you're gonna be playing competitively, I'm gonna, you know, and I'm only saying this because I want a better fight. You know, I want to be entertained, right? I don't want to see people stride into stride into Shiryuki when you're on a Void Gelga, and then go home crying, complaining about RNG. So. And we're back, sorry about that technical difficulty, but without further ado, let's go into a game and see how this Magatsu deck works on ladder. So, I initially, again, as I mentioned, thought that the Magatsu variant will be more popular because existing players would have more of the existing stuff. But again, Yasui isn't that hard to build, and I do think that more people are having success with it, so I'm really excited about it, because Murakumo honestly isn't super competitive. I don't think so, but it is definitely a very fun clan, and very cool aesthetics and plays that you can make. In terms of the ride ideal targets, ride targets, you're mainly just going with the ride chain. So I think that's pretty straightforward. I think that's one of the positives of a ride chain deck. It helps, it guides you through what you want to see. So that's a really good part of playing this. So we're going to be playing against Kagero, and this matchup is interesting because we do need units to duplicate, but we do get to bounce them away, so they're not retard targets anymore. When in a situation like this where I don't see the grade 1 ride target, some people might just take it, but I personally like to mulligan more aggressively. I'll keep the grade 1, but I'll throw away everything so I have a chance to see the grade 1, and we did, so that's really nice. And even when we didn't, then maybe we'll just transition into the, well, we'll still ride up because not riding is really bad. But maybe we will consider transitioning into the Yasui game plan instead. So here we have the grade 2, that's perfect. We still have some time to see the grade 3. So let's just pass and see how we do. So opponent's using the Yu sleeve, so those are quite pretty. And let's see, the Maharaga. So this is the, well, you have a G set 1 copy of this, but this is the OG one. That's the same thing. Technically you can play 8, I guess, but I don't think you have space for that in Kagero. Heal trigger here, not useful, but still very nice. We're gonna ride the grade 2. And we're gonna start setting up those numbers. So because our Vanguard attacks first, I do want to prioritize it to attack first, so we could have a chance to heal. These grade 2s have boosts, so that's very nice. And committing this is fine as well, again, because we can always soul blast and reposition it if we want to later on. And here, because our opponent's 6k, we can hit 10k, 16k, and 21k to actually effectively bully them and hit over those defensives just in case they see them, and they don't. So that is very nice to us. We see a little bit of interesting. We play the Gyokuryu as well, which is the G unit of G version of the same unit, and you have the Noble Critics. So they are playing Noble Vag core, I guess. However you want to call it. Velocity, a staple. Velocity and then Conro, so you can countercharge the Counter Blast you use for Conro. It's just nice. Searching for the 6+5 instead. So it's very interesting. They could be they could be playing 8. So that is very neat. Calling the grade 1 Stride Potter. Not searching for, they have Blade Master, and we know that because the thinking test showed up. So for sure they have Blade Master, but they're gonna miss because we are at 10k and 10k is about very big. We're gonna ride the Magatsu Typhoon. Unfortunately, the ride chain fails here, but we can still do stuff. So don't worry about that. We're just gonna call something out here and continue our aggression. We're just gonna attack. Discarding 1 to call a grade 3 and then losing that unit doesn't feel that good. But maybe later, but not right now. We're just gonna keep attacking, hammering through. Opponent's not seeing any defensives, which is beautiful to us. They're caught by surprise, which is great. And going to the Blade Master, the animation. Cool. Comment down below which skins you've gotten. So I would like to hear about how you feel about the animations and how you feel about the skins. You only have 1 of the G skin mills for exchange for free at the beginning of the game. I don't think newer players will even get them, so it's a real shame. Should have just made that Start Dash campaign like a permanent thing, but maybe they forgot, maybe they don't care about new players, I don't know. The Velocity here gets the counter charge, and the Mafu is gonna get that on hit to kill our booster. Noble Vag as a draw trigger, very interesting. Really been a long time since we've seen this card, but it is still nice to cancel all 6 damage heals. Alright, we have the grade 3. Do we want a Legion? Not really. Do we have anything noteworthy to stride into? We actually do. And this is a play I kind of want to showcase, so it's a really great chance to do it. So, yep, I keep calling it Kagamejishi. What it does, it lets us whenever we call a copy, it gets a plus 2k and the ability to attack from the back row. So, you know, Royale Nova won't be able to hit by itself, but luckily, you know, most likely we would draw into a grade 1 or grade 2. So grade 2 would be able to hit the 9k by itself, and if it's a grade 1, I can boost. So there's that. So let's do the play. Grade 2 is going to hit the 9k. Our Rune Star is going to attack. We're going to proc the Rune Star. Hold the Rune Star in the back row. The Kagami Jishi is going to proc, give it 2k and the ability to attack from the back row, so we can swing. Ask for another defensive, and at the end of the turn, the Rune Star will bounce to our hand. So it's a very, very potent little neat interaction that you should know if you're playing this deck, especially since we can't rely on Yasumi anymore. So that's 3 defensives, 2 heal guards, and 1 PG. We're gonna bounce the Rune Star, so we can do the exact same play next turn, as long as we can attack face with the Rune Star and have the strike cost for the Kagami Jishi. So I really do like Kagami Jishi. I think it's really great. The negative is that it's once per turn, and it forces you to use it when you can. So be careful when you're calling duplicates, because the moment the conditions are fulfilled, you will have to use this skill. Opponent's going to use the Root Flare Dragon, and they're going to clear out our board, which is well played. Luckily, the Root Star in our hand is still active. We can still use it, because we do have copies in our deck. And if we don't, we can always Legion it back. So there is that. 21k, 13k, 26k. You can call it the grade 4 because our Vanguard's grade 4, I guess. I totally forgot about that interaction. That is quite neat. Unfortunately, they don't have any HSF, so they're probably hoping to steal the game here. But fortunately, we will not allow that to happen because we have 2 PGs. And I think Legioning here is the play, because we want the big numbers just to hit over those defensives. We know our opponent doesn't have, well, 3 defensives, so I think we're good to just Legion here and be comfy. So I could use the skill. I'll discard this just to call a copy, because it will get extra power and whatever. I'm gonna just Legion back some triggers and whatnot. We could Legion back the Rune Star as well if we want, so then we can use Rune Star. I feel like I said this like 3 times already, but I just really like Rune Star. I just really like the shenanigans, so bear with me. Extra power is nice. I'm gonna use the Magatsu Stone skill. Call stuff out. Call stuff out. Battle 16. 19. And that's game. I forgot that we don't have any Rune Stars left, but that's all you need. So, quite neat, right? Quite neat. Quite neat. You know, if you had like more Rune Stars, you could Rune Star and then call out the Rune Star and the Rune Star, and then do more shenanigans. But of course, you need to sack some triggers in order for those Rune Stars to scale up. But that's fine. Sometimes that's just, you know, as long as an opportunity arises when you're put at 5 damage, then you don't even need to sack that much to make it happen. So, nice game 1 here for us. Things went really smoothly. Opponent's playing a little bit of jank with the grade 4 in the main deck. I don't think that's really that great anymore, but you know, if it's your favorite unit, you know, I respect that. But yeah, you can see how the aggression is still very, very much there. A lot of G decks are quite a bit slower, you know, so they do need to wait till their strides to actually do some stuff. And luckily for this deck, you know, the moment you run the grade 1, you have things starting to go for you. So again, we're just gonna mulligan the same way. Unfortunately, we're gonna miss the grade 1, but we do have the Legion. So let's see how we're gonna do. Attacka, call the grade 0. At least you get a body, and at least it's 5k. Before it used to be 4k. That felt pretty bad. So. Not as bad, but still bad, but not as bad. Alright, what's this? Brawler or something? Wyvern. What does this do? So last, have one of your other units get +5. So I guess it helps you with your Legion and hitting those numbers. SP Strive Fodder, that's spicy. Our Brawlers did get some buffs with the Stride support. So, do we even call this out? I guess. We can bully that 5k. 17 hits that 5k very nicely, even if they see it offensive. So Oh, that's a PG. That's a draw trigger. Now, for those who are in the competitive side of things, I guess Bushiroad Official is stating that the finals and all the qualifiers as well, the choice restriction is off. As in, it's not imposed. I think just because of logistical issues, because they are imposed on JP, but, which is a shame. It's a shame because there's a reason why they kind of put that nerf in place in the first place, but I guess they just don't have the manpower to regulate it, so I guess that's something to consider. You know, if you like your brawlers, well, you can still play Rising Phoenix in that act. You can't do that on ladder, but you can do it in competitive play, which is kind of a joke to me. We're gonna ride the grade 3 again. We missed the grade 3, which is a shame, but Magatsu Typhoon is not bad. It's not bad. We can still use the skill, but I don't think it's necessary here. I'm just gonna call stuff out, and not gonna commit too much because they can just bam and then we all die. So just gonna wait a little bit, wait till we see other pieces and see what we can do. So we did see the Yasui, so I am considering going back into the Yasui instead, just because it's better in this matchup. The Typhoon isn't gonna do us. Oh, we can Legion back 3 triggers. Thinkies. Gotta thinkies about this one. Vanquisher, well, they could bind it, so I guess Legion bad against Vanquisher, right? They just, it's a hard counter, so it's a hard life. This one, not meant to be. I guess Magatsu Typhoon, not meant to be, but it's okay. We do have the Yasui again. Even if you think that the 13th copy, like that one copy of Yasui, is a little bit irrelevant, we do have 3 Stride Fodders. You can always tune this up to 4. Help you out with the consistency and helps you out with some matchups like this, which will just hate on your drop zones so you can't do your Legion shenanigans. Right. So see what we can do. Heal trigger here, very nice. We kill everything. So that's it. It's still Legion, but like putting these units back, it's not that important to me. I'm gonna go into Yasui, which is a great unit. Going into the Kagamijishi, starting the Legion, because the Magatsu Storm can still use its persona, so I do want to. I do rather want to keep a copy of it. And call out the grade 2. Call 2 copies out. Even though they're vanilla, they will be able to hit, because that's just how we do things. 9k, 11k, 16k, 26k. Opponent's gonna see defensive, so that ruins things, but it's okay. If we see 2 triggers, we can still do this. No, we don't, but that's fine. Heal is more than enough. Heal is more than enough. Can't complain about that. And pass. Yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. Next turn. Well, we'll see what we're gonna do next turn. But right now we're 2-4. We healed like 3 times this game, so it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good to be me. Opponent's probably gonna smack our board and obliterate it, but we do have some units like Magatsu Storm that does give us some board presence without committing from our hand. And even though it doesn't include intercepts, we still have the PGs and heals to defend ourselves with. So Vishnu. Noble rearguards. I think the heal is a noble rearguard, but besides that, I don't think you have any others. So I don't know why you would play this. Is this a noble rearguard? No, it's not a noble rearguard. Yeah, well, why not just play Zoras? You tell me, chat. You tell me. I don't know. I cannot. Noble? I only know the grade 3s are nobles. Like, I really don't know if there are any other nobles. Roostar. That's so sad. You will be missed, my buddy. Alright. What do we do here? Well, we do have this that we can copy. Alright, let's see what we draw into. Jishi. Deal with Legion if we want to. Opponent doesn't seem to like binding our stuff, and they don't have the access to on hits anymore because we are at 5. So keeping the Legion is fine. We did draw into it. That's such a shame. I guess we can still call this. There's nothing to call. Oh, oof. That's a super big oof. We can call this. And it'll still be able to attack from back row, so that's nice, but these units aren't hitting, so that sucks. Well, let's just call some stuff down and attack. Boost. No, we are not gonna boost. So yeah, like I've been playing around with 4 Star Motors and one of the grid one as well, like this unit. So it depends on you. But ideally you have 4s, makes that 4 copies much more consistent. But I guess playing 3s and 2s gives you this kind of situation where if it's the 1 card on your board, then at least you can do something with it. But unfortunately we did draw into that the second copy, which is a real shame. A real shame. Real shame. Goes into the Knuckle Dragon instead of the Vermilion. Interesting. I mean, I guess this is a hybrid. I just noticed they play the Big Red Knuckle Buster as well. So wiping our front row. Luckily we have 3 PGs, but we do need to desperately find a way to find an out next turn. So ideally what we do is we have a 1 in 12 chance to see the Stride Fodder. We stride, we draw into one of these grade 2s, we dupe them, and then hopefully we go for a game from there. Opponent calls down a Heal Guard, so they are quite confident with the hand that they have. And all we can do is just PG for dear life. That's 1 PG. That's a draw trigger, that's not good. For us, it's good for them. And that's it, PG. But our front row is gonna go bye-bye. And it's top deck time! Let's go, top deck! No, that's not what we're looking for. That's gonna be 7Ks, and that's not gonna be fun. 14. Trigger! We have 1 left. Oh, we do see the 1 heal! Can we please ask for lethal? Can we please ask for lethal? Please? No! No. I think that's game. We don't have any defensive left. You know, it can happen. We ran out of gas. And opponent played... I did not expect the plays. You know, I thought they'd try to bind our stuff, but they didn't. So maybe transitioning into Yasui was not the smartest thing. But yeah, that's GG. That is GG. So I guess moral of this game is tweak around with your ratios, and missing right chain sad. That's a for sure. Missing right chain sad. You can see that how big of a difference it does make between game 1 and game 2. Opponent! What? They're attacking with Vanguard first. Oh, but they saw a defensive. Well, if they didn't, sorry, they saw a trigger, not a defensive. If they didn't see a trigger, that would have been a misplay, because the numbers on the rearguard circle, they don't hit 16. But they did see a trigger, and that is game because we don't have any heals left. But that is GG, and so be it. So I guess that's basically it. That's really unfortunate that we took that L, but overall, I hope I got to showcase the prowess of the early game aggro with the Murakumo clan, and you have a little fall safe option with Yasui that makes the game more consistent, even if you kind of brick and don't see many of your pieces, because you can always just duplicate them and keep going on the offensive. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Kamui, Noah Grappler, we have 2Mellow, we have KC, and we have ZBD for being members of the channel and supporting us. Thank you so much to you 4. Thank you so much for watching the video, and liking the video if you liked it, subscribing if you haven't already and want to see more. Now, I did encounter some technical difficulties. Not sure if I mentioned this. It's been a while already, but hopefully I will keep getting more content out. So I will see you more frequently. And until next time, bye. And, you know, if you're still here at this point, click one of these videos if you're interested. The one in the middle, if you haven't subscribed already. And if you are still here at this point, then I think it's time to click that big red button to the top left of your window right now. And so you won't hear me rambling any further. Yeah. And if you're still here right now, well, what are you doing? Go play some Vanguard 2. Bye.